Thieves and NRG about to square off in a best of 3. I'm pretty excited for this one. The desk, you guys were all predicting 2-1s one way or the other. I hope that we're going to get the full 3 again today.
Yeah, I love best of 3s. I love that we're now finally in best of 3 world, and these two teams I think are pretty evenly matched. I have no idea where either of them are going to be coming into this split. I feel like neither of them had the playoffs performance they would have wanted.
Well, Dhokla is still waking up a little bit, yawning on stage, getting right into Champion Select though, of course. We do have the Skarner bans still remaining here. Don't think we'll see Skarner getting through again.
It's red side tax.
This split in the LCS. But interesting enough, the Nidalee joins Vi here as far as jungle bans, being laid out. And this has been kind of controversial, but like I mentioned yesterday, we have so many Nidalee players, and with Canyon kind of giving everybody the Nidalee pass and everybody opening the floodgates, basically, she will begin to run rampant. Quickly, though, we'll get into it. We are going to get another one of these AD mid laners on the side of NRG. Tristana already picked up, and so we'll be looking at more of the AP junglers further down the road.
Yeah, and I am super curious to see what each of these junglers are going to do, right? As we see the Maokai locked in alongside the Trist, great setup for her poke. And then the Taliyah locked in for Quid, our reigning MVP. We see a quote from Contractz on there, where he always bans Shaco, still probably a little scarred from River from that last
So, to be fair, Contractz, he was scarred from Shaco way before the 100 Thieves NRG game that you're referring to. Their last regular season game was a super fun one. Yeah. 100 Thieves just picked Shaco as well as Veigar mid to actually get the victory over NRG. NRG also super salty because then they lost the best of 5 in playoffs after that as well, and got kicked out by 100 Thieves. So NRG definitely looking for that revenge here. But we're quickly following up here, and that Ezreal finally does make his way to the bottom lane. Yeah,
Ezreal was something I was wondering if we were going to see on this patch. Received a few buffs. Just last night on the pre-buff patch, we saw Pays absolutely pop off on that in Gen G T1. And I think it's a pretty solid pick. I'm curious to see what Meech is able to do with it.
Well, okay. Thinking about that Kalista for a while, but instead they go with the Twisted Fate locked in on the side of NRG. Now let's see what kind of bans we get in the second half of things. We have already seen the Ashe, the Senna, the Rumble, Skarner, Vi, and Nidalee, like we're already mentioned earlier, at the top of the draft. What's it going to be, NRG? What do we want to focus here? You already know what the enemy bottom lane is going to be. You also see the Taliyah as well to be able to help with roams down there and being able to help both of those guys. Jax banned out, keeping that one away from Sniper.
Yeah, if you're worried about counter-picking this Twisted Fate top, then the Jax is one. Also, I don't know if they're really worried about it, but you could ban the Yasuo top counter-pick, the Wind Wall into Twisted Fate. If you're worried about Sniper looking for more solo kills on you, that is definitely, one of the counter matchups that goes hand in hand with things that deal with gold card. It's Jax Counter-Strike and Yasuo win walls.
Well, I feel like Sniper's absolutely the kind of player to slam something like a Yasuo top into a Twisted Fate as well.
Absolutely. But it's the Jace. I assume they just asked Dhokla, what do you not want to face? That could also be, obviously, they could still flex. They could have flexed the Jace mid and played Taliyah jungle. That's also still an option open to them, should they want to go for it. Because with the Varus banned out, Corki is actually still open. So it'll be interesting if they wanted to do flexes on either side.
All right. First pick of the second half of the draft for NRG. We'll see if they really want to lock in this Leona. You already mentioned, Emily, how the Maokai is great setup. You can go in for the engages on that one, but having something else to go with it, something with a little bit more than just the Twisted Advance that is reliable, since the ulti often requires an angle for the setup. I like the Rell here. Big team fight engage for NRG.
And it also keeps the Tristana flex alive. Tristana Rell is a potent kill lane for bottom lane. Could try and go for kills on the Nautilus. So leaving that flexible option here until the very last pick for NRG, kind of hiding their hand a little bit. Meanwhile, NRG, what is it going to be? Show what is going into this Twisted Fate. It's the Renekton that had got all the way through the pick and ban phase here. Not super exciting, but definitely a sturdy one.
Very, very heavily banned in the games yesterday as well. Very popular top lane pick as per usual. I feel like this guy's the most evergreen top laner in the game, but hey, that's the pick for Sniper.
And pairs really well with a Taliyah because anytime you have a roaming mid laner like that, you have the options. Or actually, here with the Kaisa lock-in as well, going to be jungle Taliyah. So jungle Taliyah pairs even better with the Renekton than the mid lane Taliyah, as you can easily stun into the seismic shoves.
All right.
And so we're going to be getting, the Kaisa pick is really, really interesting here.
So both Kaisa mid and Ezreal mid have seen play in solo queue in Challenger. Ezreal going with the lethality builds. So it really depends on what matchup we're looking at in here into Smolder. I think that Quid is one of those Ezreal mid enjoyers, but we'll give him the full, down to the 20-second mark you have until the swapping ends.
Yeah, and I think obviously another thing to call out is that Meech should be more than comfortable on this Kaisa. It's something that we know he already has played in his career and is very comfortable on. It is really interesting to see that.
We're on to the Rift for game number 1. Here with this best of 3 as FBI immediately gets caught by a dredge line. Eyla leads the charge and Meech is right behind him. FBI can just walk this one off though. No summoner spells required to be spent. Should be able to recall, get back to the lane in time without a real serious punish here.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what 100 Thieves do off of this. Love the use of the Nautilus level 1. Whoa.
Nice. Okay, maybe I was wrong after all. Maybe you did delay him long enough to annoy him just a little bit further.
All right, so Quid, Ezreal here in the mid lane, 400 Thieves. Another one of these AD mid laners. We've been going over the super common Tristanas and the Corkis that everybody is used to, but pulling out another one that is even fairly rare in solo queue. I mentioned that it does show up from time to time in Challenger, and it had a couple of builds. You know, there was a lethality version that went around for a little bit, but I probably think he's probably going to go with the Trinity Force this time around, and we will see. But another one that brings a lot of early range, early poke power, the level 1, getting the shove here onto Palafox Tristana, getting the early lane priority, not to mention they had the level 1 little invade there, 400 Thieves.
And talking about Palafox, I think for a lot of NRG fans, he's a guy that they're looking for him to really step up in summer compared to spring. We even heard from Palafox last split how he felt like he had some seriously weak performances in a lot of those games. Back in summer of last year when these guys surprised everybody and made that run to become champions, he was a huge part of it. But now here in the bottom lane, the 2v2 breaking out yet again as FBI gets ignited. But he and Huhi can fight back well enough. They're not really that scared.
I mean, this is one of the most exciting things about, you know, the improvement that we saw from Quid from last year into spring. It was not only that he was playing so much better and he had so much better synergy with his team, but he also pulled out a bunch of fun counter picks. You know, he was the one with the Aatrox counter pick slamming mid, a lot of flexibility given to his coaches, and they have the confidence in him to be able to pull those out. So see what it can do this time around. Meanwhile, check on the other 2 lanes as well, as Twisted Fate here. Always going to get the early buildup of the minion waves. Whenever you're running the Twisted Fate into a lot of these more generic melee matchups, very easy to slow push your wave. You always want to slow push it, don't unnecessarily quick push it. So that you can get that extra damage at the tower. But here we go, flash in.
Yeah, Eyla ready to lock down Huhi. They got River coming in, but they don't even need him. He's just there for moral support. It's first blood over to Meech.
Yeah, and that was kind of set up, again, off of the level 1, but the way they're going to be playing around this Kaisa Nautilus, being able to go in, this is something that Meech and Eyla are super comfortable on. And, I mean, this is already just so fun to watch. Obviously, bot lane scrapping. Kobe, you brought up, though, that these 2 teams have been really specifically flexible around their solo laners. And Obviously, Sniper was one of them. He had the most solo kills this past spring. Here's the list of his
Dhokla is sitting over there
victims,
with a previous headshot there where Sniper was able to solo kill.
Now he has the target on his face, right? So we'll see how this top lane goes.
For Summer, he has not yet been solo killed. For the first 4 minutes of Summer, no solo kills.
Off to a slow start. Okay, but it's obviously going to be pretty difficult with the Renekton to deal with Twisted Fate here early on, like you already talked about. TF's going to acquire the push. We'll see if that Taliyah can get up there, be able to punish him, work together with the Renekton like we were talking about in draft with the setup for the seismic shove and the point-and-click stun. Can really be a threat, but we have to get that Weaver's Wall online first.
Yeah, whenever you do have, especially this pairing combo against the Twisted Fate top like that wants to abuse your top laner as much as possible, pushing into tower, getting that turret plate money off of the slow pushes, and then looking for roams as well. Your big point, your big counterplay is a flash stun from the Renekton into the Taliyah, the jungle gank up on top side that should try and punish the Twisted Fate. But if Dhokla's able to easily scale up there, able to easily get to his ultimate and start to apply the extra pressure to the rest of the map, then NRG have a lot of really good scaling options. When you have Twisted Fate and a Tristana on the same team, not only is it a lot of global pressure, it's also a lot of tower pressure, quickly being able to take down turrets, and then Smolder here looking to scale for them on the bottom side of the map, obviously.
Yeah, and we'll see where River decides to go after this. He has paid just a little bit more attention towards bot and mid. I do like, again, River, we've seen him play this before, but my quintessential River games are always ones where he is going in and affecting his lanes early. Obviously, they didn't necessarily need him to set up that kill on bot side, but he was there already and aware of what was going on. I think his awareness in relation to his lanes is usually really, really good. So I'm always curious to see how he helps set them up.
I mean, I remember back when he first came into the league and he was the Jarvan guy and he's just chain spamming ganks all over the place. Obviously, he's evolved from that reputation since then, but I feel like if you're ever known as the Jarvan guy, you've got to be an early ganker. You've got to be an early playmaker. You've got to be some guy who wants to affect the lanes like that. But right now, it's him and Sniper. They're going to acquire, looks like all three of these grubs without any sort of a contest from NRG. The Drake on the bottom side not going to be taken in trade at the same time either. So River and 100 Thieves pretty happy about that.
Yeah, and that was set up because, Eyla was able to roam up through mid as part of that bot side pressure that they'd already established, right? So they didn't end up losing Drake for it, even though it does look like Contractz is going for it now.
Yeah, should be able to
go for that trade.
Should be able to trade, no problem here for NRG after pushing in on the bottom wave and moving up to the Dragon. Standard stuff so far. I will say I am keeping my eyes on this Twisted Fate ultimate because they did get to the level 6 kind of breakpoint there for the top lane. Sniper obviously does have that threat for the all-in. We just got attacked by a Hex Dragon.
That spooked me.
I don't know if that was as loud for everybody else as it was for us, but
yeah, I jumped.
The Hex Dragon just unleashed on us.
Okay,
as it goes down.
If that's what it's like in the game for the characters, that's pretty scary.
The Hex Dragon was previously my favorite dragon because I really like the stats, but now I don't know. That's not a secure spot. We'll take a look, though, here as we do get a reset for River in the jungle as well. You mentioned it, but they've just been power farming there. River had a really smooth kind of pathway up to top side, too. And while it's debatable, and some people are on the Dragon side and looking for longer games and going for souls, and some people are on the newly buffed Grub side of it, I personally, and I know a lot of junglers, really like when you're the team that is built around going for the Grub side because the Grubs themselves give so much more experience and resources to the jungler that takes them. So it is that nice little buff there in River with the level 7 on Taliyah. Now, probably finally looking to make some real moves here. He has picked up a Dark Seal, and whenever you grab your early Dark Seal, you usually want to follow it up with some early kills, some early stats there. So I would expect at some point a visit here to either the Nautilus or to the Renekton. Those are the two that are really going to set you up for the big plays. And of course, with 100 Thieves, bottom lane having that really good and easy, honestly, start to where they got that very kind of free kill onto Huhi, that might be the play.
Well, now you see them swapping up towards the top side and sending Renekton bot. So We have a little bit of a kind of a delayed swap going on, and we'll see what 100 Thieves want to do with this as they're looking for a kill on top.
Ooh, Eyla going in, but he does not connect on the dredge line. River wants to follow it up, goes for the seismic shove. FBI staying alive for now, but Meech has the killer instinct to take him down. Quid's getting the kill credit, making a double. Back over to 100 Thieves.
Huge surprise play right there from 100 Thieves. They were still in the fog of war on their swap on the recall timing that you mentioned, Emily, and then when they go for the play, it's actually not even the Nautilus flash that gets it off the ground.
Yeah.
It is River with the seismic shove here. River's Taliyah flashes forward, and 100 Thieves, they are off to the races here. Now it just kind of balloons into 1.7 thousand the gold lead, and we're pretty close to the second spawn of Grubs, only 40 seconds away as well.
Yeah, and it gets Sniper out, right, where he's able to push this wave in bot. As we take a look at the setup on this hill, like you said, Dredge line misses, but Taliyah is just such a strong champion for setting up a lot of these ganks, whether she is in mid or in the jungle, as we see River coming in and then Meech being able to get in there.
Yeah, River says, fine, I'll do it myself. Goes in on the Taliyah. And Golden Glue's like, that's my jungler. That's my jungler.
He's pumped, man.
And honestly, those are the types of plays that people were expecting. When they saw this River signing originally, even in spring, everyone was so hyped for this squad, this 100 Thieves squad that kind of took spring by storm, and the regular season at the very least. And so it's nice to see them here in summer, starting out with some really big plays from him. We are going to get into the second Grub spawn, and technically Sniper has teleport, 400 Thieves, so could join it to make it the full squad.
All right, first Grub is about to die. Energy's going to secure that one, but Eyla, Quid, and River are ready to contest. Meech dueling with FBI up on the top, but in the meantime, it's Huhi drop before the fight even starts. Now he's got to be a little bit careful. Eyla trying to get away. A lot of damage pouring into himself and River, as now Dhokla picks one back up. It's going to be two going the way of Energy. They're not only going to take all three Grubs, they're going to win the fight on the backside of it.
And I think the big difference maker there is obviously you had talked about how, okay, Sniper can TP in, right? But he TPs really far behind, as you can see, where this teleport is going to come in. It's going to come in, that was way bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's going to come in up here, right? And so he then has to go all the way around the pit and isn't there on that flank, because there's a world where he sets up a phenomenal flank, but instead Energy, even though Huhi dies, are able to get in and do damage.
Yeah, it was effectively a 4v5 right there, and Energy are like, oh great, we'll just pick up some extra kills on top of our Grubs. So Energy feeling very good about that little comeback play, and now maybe another.
Yeah, Eyla in some danger here as the gold card already connects. That Nautilus is not walking away, and River might just join him here in the morgue. It's Contractz tying up the game 4-4.
Oh, it's all falling apart quickly here for the 100 Thieves. They had the moment of brightness there with the River play in mid, where they were able to get those picks, and FBI had been kind of lazy with the summoner spells, not flashing that seismic shove, but in the last couple of plays here, Energy really just taking what is right in front of them. Multiple objectives on top of the extra kills. Dhokla here now trying to defend the remnants of the tower and at least not give up a bunch of extra turret plates in payment for that Dragon #2.
And now I'm curious to see how Energy want to be able to set up this composition, both in their lanes and then trying to get more picks, right? Because Contractz has been kind of quiet in relation to his lanes thus far, at least, you know, from what you and I are familiar with him, right, Kobe? And so, but this Maokai, as we talked about, the way these comps work, has such great setup for the damage to come in from the Tristana, from the Smolder, who is still stacking. And then obviously Dhokla can freeze people on the backline as well.
I'm really curious how FBI is going to, or when, excuse me, FBI is going to hit those big breakpoints on the stacks. Yesterday when we saw Jan playing the Smolder in the series against FlyQuest, he hit that 225 mark just about 21 minutes into the game. Right now, it's only 84 stacks, 13.5 minutes in for FBI, so I want to see him accelerate that just a little bit.
Yeah, definitely a lot slower pace on the stacking there for Smolder, and 100 Thieves still have the extra gold lead that they got from the bottom side kill that they got kind of on Huhi and then the mid lane play. So they still have really fed AD carries here, 2 of them for the side of 100 Thieves, with the Ezreal finishing that Trinity Force that we mentioned, as well as the Kaisa getting a bunch of the kills for Meech here. So 100 Thieves, the game plan is the same here. They're still on track. They also just got level 11 on the Ezreal, which, by the way, they keep buffing his ultimate. So rank 2 on the ultimate is crazy now. This thing is getting to nuclear levels pretty soon. Ezreal now joining for the Rift Herald fight, but the objective's already been taken.
Yeah, objective secured by NRG, and now they want to take the fight, but the damage immediately pours in on Huhi, and he's the first to die. Sniper's in the middle of everybody looking to lock him down. Contractz gets chopped, and Meech is the one holding the axe. As Dhokla, FBI, and Palafox all try to get away, Dokla's now finding himself in danger. Meech and River in hot pursuit. Seismic shove gets Meech another one. A rampage for the 100 Thieves marksman.
Yeah, let's take another look at that, because obviously 100 Thieves come in, want to contest it. NRG, the Maokai ult is good for zoning, but then only hits Eyla, and Huhi explodes before they're able to get in and do damage. And then obviously with this composition, 100 Thieves are already in such a better spot and have really good setup on the backside of this with Meech going in. And once again, Taliyah is just so good at setting up those picks, right? Like, she's just such a great champion for that.
Yeah, River really good at it as well. I mean, you mentioned it, but Huhi just exploded across those rocks. And the double AD carry power spikes were primed for 100 Thieves. They were glad to fight on these. And even though Meech was a little bit farther away, he's Kaisa, so had an easy time joining off of the plasma into the ultimate there. And so 100 Thieves increase their gold lead, get themselves even further ahead here to be able to fight off. Still have some options for NRG, of course. They did just group up everybody, kind of 4 people up on the top side, and get defended though, so they're losing out a lot on the map right now. They had invested so many people, and they're gonna lose a kill too!
Contractz, it's not where he wants to be, man. He flashes over the wall just to barely escape. 200 HP is enough to get the Maokai out. But this 100 Thieves squad, who we talked about finding that nice play earlier, then throwing the game back over to NRG, they're now 4,000 gold ahead again.
Yep, definitely a very big one for them. They had a successful defense on the top side grouping that we mentioned, and then NRG, they don't lose the kill, but they do lose the flash and the Maokai ultimate. So that is a huge window now, again, that 100 Thieves have to continue pushing this lead with their fed AD carries. Mid lane tower is about 50% HP. That is going to be the next target. That is the biggest objective on the map for them. Dragon will join fairly shortly, so get your resets in now. You've got 30 seconds and some to go get your control wards and set up your vision.
Yeah, and we'll see how NRG respond. They can obviously do the kind of drop Herald mid into Drake setup that is the classic. If you look at Palafox pushing in this top side, and also 100 Thieves pushing out their bot side.
Yeah, I think NRG making the call here, and a correct call, I would say, to just give up that dragon. They're not in a position to fight these team fights, as we saw in the last one. Gonna get run over, so they make the call. You know what? You get your dragon. It's fine. It's only going to be the first one for you.
Yep.
We will try and get some gold back in payment for that dragon, for that objective. Pop the Rip Herald on the top side. They got at least the outer tower finally on top side to get a little bit of gold for themselves. But Rift Herald here getting 50% of the health on that one.
Yeah, the Weaver's Wall was intended to troll the Herald, but it accidentally trolled Sniper instead because he had to walk around it to hit the stupid thing. So a little bit of miscoordination there in 100 Thieves top jungle duo, but hey, it all worked out. The turret's still standing. Palafox is still hanging out up there around that top side of the map as River, Quid, and Meech will now finally move over to that Drake, work to take that one. The 4,000 gold lead has shrank back down closer to 3K now as Eyla is just waiting in the brush. Dhokla walks up, he face checks, and Quid hits him right in the mouth. 100 Thieves find kill number 8.
Yeah, where are you going? This forest is dark and full of terrors that's warded up by 100 Thieves. NRG had made the call pretty much already by going topside and that they were going to give up the dragon.
Yep.
And then you kind of wander into enemy territory here where it is all dark. The Nautilus is in there. Eyla says, thank you very much for the extra gold, and 100 Thieves, not only do they get that dragon, but they also further increase the gold lead here to further punish NRG.
Yeah, and we had talked about how, like, yes, the mid tier 1 is not down yet. That's probably what 100 Thieves are going to go after next. But they'd already pushed out bot side. To your point, Kobe, we'd already thought NRG were going to give up this Drake. And on side lanes, especially on that bot side at the time, they had complete vision control as well. So obviously able to get that pick off of that. And we'll see now if they end up setting up for this mid tier 1.
Yep, here we go. River makes his way over along with Eyla to help out on the push. FBI stack check here is only 151 at 19 and a half minutes, so it's gonna be a little bit longer, but at least they have him in mid lane. This is one of the best areas to try and farm up those stacks. You can see him right there. The reason this is the best area is because not only is it pretty easy to defend usually at the tower and you get a lot of the wave, but you can also kind of cheat and get the Raptor ones as well. Hopefully, for their sake, they can accelerate him a little bit because they're going to need it.
Yeah, man, he's going 35 and a 55 on the stacks right now. This dude needs to press the accelerator and get caught up. They're already down 4,000 gold. They need him firing on all cylinders. Sniper getting caught out a little bit here, but he gets away. The rest of the team ready to come in now and try to make something happen off the back part of it, as Quid not going to find his mystic shot there.
Engage.
Let's see. The Maokai ulti comes through. Nice follow-up from Huhi with Mom coming in over the top, and Dhokla's grabbing a kill on River. Meech tries to go over the wall with a shot. Down goes over to Palafox, and NRG end up getting 2. It wasn't the one they looked for at first, but they still get an even better consolation prize. Baron is now live on the map, and NRG's got a 5v3.
That was such a nice look from NRG. They go with the double split push, and Dhokla pops the ultimate. They fake out 100 Thieves and then get their re-engage with the Wombo combo. Maokai ult into Rell ult, and now 100 Thieves gonna try and fight them off the Baron.
Eyla goes for the engage. Injured health bars on NRG's side. Sniper has no ulti though, keep it in mind. They want to try to flash in and take him down. Sniper goes for it, he finds Dhokla, but he's gonna be traded. Contractz and Huhi still in the pit. Baron at 2,000 HP. Quid and Eyla still fighting. Contractz shot down.
Oh my God.
True shot barrage. Quid takes the Baron. Quid with a quadra kill. Quid is him.
And Quid with a little Gen G flash at the end. I hope that is a shout out to Pays from last night as we further see. I was initially surprised that they ended up wanting to go for this because it is a 3v5, but just absolute trust. Even when Sniper gets gold guarded in, is able to still get into the back line. Baron is doing damage this entire time, and then just watch Quid. He's untouched, he's dancing around, he cleans up, flashes the Gen G emote at the end for the style. That's our spring MVP.
This dude's good, man.
Yeah, so I would say very dangerous to leave a fed Ezreal just shooting you over and over and over while you are in the Baron pit, trying to finish the Baron there instead of dealing with the threat. Yeah, the age-old question of turn or burn.
They burned all right.
The answer to that last one was to try and turn, but they opted for the burn and couldn't get close to it. So they got the worst end of it, where they did not finish off the Baron, but they did burn it so low that then Quid was able to pick it up after he got all his kills. So it's a quadra plus a Baron. That's like pseudo penta. I'll give it to him.
Yeah. Baron counts as one.
Baron counts as one. That's like, yeah, you got 4 plus the purple one as well, and now 100 Thieves. Quid's like, well, great. I basically won the game for us, guys. You guys want to finish? Let's take some towers. It's pretty easy now.
I mean, that could have been the massive swing the other way. If NRG ends up getting the 2 kills and then they grab the Baron this early into the game, they pick up a lot of standing gold in the turrets that are still on the map, which, by the way, is pretty much every turret still. NRG has only claimed 1 this entire game, but Quid's hero moment is huge for the Thieves.
So, since all of this discussion I know is going to all be around this Baron for this whole game, for everybody, is to also be wary of Baron spikes. Sniper, though, is going to have to be more wary of NRG members. I think we saw a large grouping of them here.
Yeah, and this is unfortunately a lot of the criticism that Sniper received last split as well. The dude is really good mechanically, but his decision-making can often put him in spots where he gets caught out, gets punished. We'll see if 100 Thieves can make there be some kind of a consequence for this violence. As now, immediate burst on Dhokla. The dude's already out of there as Contractz and the rest of NRG are trying to fight back. Meech drops. Here comes Mom. Huhi's gonna be your sacrificial lamb as NRG tries to get somebody out of here. Contractz running and running and running and running. Run away, Mr. Tree. It's only him and FBI trying to escape. The Smolder still not at 225. These guys cannot fight back. Yes, they were able to take Meech and Sniper with them, but the fight still ends up favoring 100 Thieves.
And you still now have a 9-0-4 Ezreal.
Yeah.
Poking at you from
lot.
and taking down this turret here. I think the big thing is that in a lot of these setups, it's actually the team that ends up responding. So even when NRG are trying to make a play, 100 Thieves are still in a really good position to respond and collapse with, again, their fed carries.
Also, solo lane Ezreal, when it used to be a thing, years ago as well, always liked building Frozen Heart, even in the previous iteration. And Frozen Heart right now is insane versus this NRG lineup. Twisted Fate is basically considered another AD carry, so it's basically like Frozen Heart versus triple AD carry. So not only is Quid the richest person on the map, but he's kind of God mode right now with a very good defensive item. Specifically versus NRG here. So Quid is basically a one-man army right now.
Yeah.
Level 16 on the Ezreal. So the full rank on that ultimate with all those buffs that has been buffed over multiple patches here as well is going to be very difficult for NRG to deal with.
It's taking me back, Kobe. You know, like Ezreal mid is back. Apparently,
yeah, I want to go all the way
we're
back to Ezreal jungle. Do you remember those?
Yes,
no.
I
We
do
lost
remember the
so
Ezreal
many jungle
phase.
items because Ezreal abused them. Ayla gets rooted up. He blocks the Maokai ulti for Quid and River, flashing back over the wall to keep himself alive. Contractz wants to chase, but he's already killed. Ayla still staying in the game. He's down to 300 HP, but the rest of the Thieves have immediately drawn battle lines. FBI's gonna get all the way out as Meech goes all the way in for the tier 3 turret here in the bottom lane. River, Quid, and Sniper all following up right behind him as the projectiles fly, and NRG has to cover their heads and run. Bot lane inhib already down. Minion wave crashing into the tier 3 turret back over in mid lane, and it looks like 100 Thieves ain't done yet. Huhi trying to stand and defend there, but the shattering strike ain't enough. Tier 3 gone here in mid now as well. Inhibitor's gonna be your next target. Big engage coming out from Huhi's Magnet Storm. He locks down 3, but where's the follow-up? Support for support gonna be traded out.
They got him!
100 Thieves finally end up losing their mid laner for the first time this game. It's NRG making the moves, finding Quid, but it's still a 2-for-2 trade. It's still the inhibitor in mid, going the way of 100 Thieves. Dhokla makes it a 3-for-2, using the ulti to pick off River.
Oh, and objective bounties are up because NRG were so far behind. They could deck this dragon. It would be number 3 for them and a big bunch of gold on top of it. We're not quite done yet, Flowers. Even though 100 Thieves still have a massive, massive lead, that was quite a blunder.
Yeah, they're not able to close out the game. NRG will now find themselves on direct
Wait a
point.
second.
I've seen
Are
this.
they even done yet?
I've seen this show before.
Quid is 4 seconds away. Okay, Quid, can he get there in time? NRG are gonna race the clock.
I've seen this show before, man. I've seen this episode.
It goes
down quick. It goes down
It's not a
quick.
bad call, right?
All right, let's see. Palafox already down to 1/4 HP. Ayla going in for the dredge line. Meech flies in for the killer instinct, and Palafox is already dead. Huhi and Contractz trying to stay alive here in the pit as Dhokla wants to kite it, but he just can't fight it. A double kill for Meech, and once again, the same damn way it happened before, but with a different AD carry. It's another massive multi-kill for 100 Thieves. It's another barren blunder for NRG.
I mean, I don't hate it, honestly. It is a blunder, but like, what else are you going to do? You were finally able to kill the Ezreal. You found a window. They're gonna close out the game now. And congrats to 100 Thieves. This is a great showing from them. Like, I love the Ezreal mid. I love the poke coming through. Amazing.
It is a strong game 1 here for Quid and the 100 Thieves. 10-1 1 and 7 on the Ezreal. Meech 9, 3 and 5 on the Kaisa. And look at the assists on Eyla. 1, 4 and 20. 21 out of 24 KP. That's like what, 88% kill participation? That's pretty nuts. 100 Thieves got to be happy about that one.
100 Thieves coming into summer hot here, telling NRG there will be no revenge for you yet.
I just love